It's the Riot Podcast. This is the Monday, February 27th edition. I have to ask, did you have a good show today?
Yeah.
Did you feel good?
Tired, but good.
You had a fun time?
Mm-hmm.
You enjoyed it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Okay, just checking.
Just worried, just concerned about you.
Just want to make sure.
I just want to make sure the experience is good for you.
Sure.
And if there's anything I can do to improve it.
Sometimes I feel like on Mondays, though, you're like, hey, you start off the show and I have way more energy. And then I remember we have the whole show.
Pace yourself.
And yeah, no, you got to pace yourself. Yeah, you got to pace yourself instead because, you tend to slow down a bit on Monday.
So in other words, if the show is a little off, it's Nikki's fault.
And it's later in the show.
She's not giving 100%.
I just
break in and break out.
Yep, that's
what
me.
I'm hearing.
It's me totally.
Where I go all out every time.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing your part.
Somebody's got to do it.
Good work, Hudson. Today on the show, we talked about Chik-Fil-A. We talked about them banning teenagers.
It is a Pennsylvania location before everybody starts like flipping out over all of the Chick-fil-A's. It's not a across the board. It's just at this particular location.
But some of them need that.
You think so?
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I've been into a Chick-fil-A since before COVID. Like, it's been forever.
Because there's, like, certain places, like, certain businesses, depending on location, where you can just be overran with, like, middle schoolers after school. If that's the hangout place, there's coffee places that are like that. There's toy stores that are like that, that if you're close to the school and then after school they all go there, they're not buying anything. They're all just sitting in there. Maybe
they're going
they get,
in the play place with their shoes on.
Yeah, maybe they grab, like, a milkshake or something or, like, a drink, and then they just sit there and they just wreak havoc on your business. And the people that come in that are actually spending money usually do not like that.
You know what sucks, though? If a Chick-fil-A, they banned, unaccompanied minors, so who's going to serve you the food?
Oh, yeah, no, that's
How are you going to get your sandwich? They have no one to work.
Yeah, that's true, because you can be under 18 and still work there, but then your manager's in charge of you.
And
so they're just saying you have to have someone in charge of you if you can't handle yourself.
Somebody responsible.
See, I used to hate that because younger, I was always the responsible one. I was like, can we not ruin it for those of us that can handle going inside the Chick-fil-A? Like, why do you have to be this way?
And then Nikki walks in. She's like, no, I'm responsible for that.
I am. They let me in anyways.
I know I'm not an adult, but I act like it.
Hudson, I was so responsible. They'd be like, hey, you want to just manage the store while you're here, even though you're 16?
You seem to know how to deal with these children.
We also talked about Airbnbs, and one in particular that has just so many rules.
Just a lot. It's and it's just, I think they need to let you know before you go what you're getting into.
It's also not that they're a lot. It's almost like it's talking down to you because they're all just little signs placed around everywhere. And I think some of it's more common sense, but maybe one big sign somewhere and not all the little ones.
Well, it's weird too, because if you watch Hotel Impossible, it's it's like Restaurant Impossible, but with hotels. And I watched a lot of that. And what the guy will always say is, like, if you're in hospitality, like the customer, you have to be welcoming and accommodating, whatever, to the customer. But that's not how Airbnb hosts oftentimes approach.
Not at all.
This is not welcoming, having all these signs. It's like the last thing you want to do if you're running a real hotel is have a bunch of little signs talking down to people. But that's what Airbnb hosts, they'll do.
Isaiah's the next one. You're going to Phoenix with your Airbnb?
I am going to Scottsdale in a couple months. And I just got invited to another one, right, where we're staying in an Airbnb. And the price on that, this is what's crazy, is Airbnb is getting so expensive, right? The price on that per night, $1,500.
No, it is not.
Swear.
No.
For how big? How big
huge.
of a place?
It's a huge house.
$1,500
a night.
It's $1,500 a night.
Equivalent to how many hotel rooms?
This is in Kentucky.
Kentucky?
In the middle of nowhere, Kentucky.
Oh.
And it's $1,500 a night.
Are you being swindled? Or?
I mean, I'm not paying for it, clearly. I mean, obviously, I'm not chipping in on this one, but it's for like a bachelor party for one of my friends. And it is just like this huge mansion.
Well,
it's
they're
like
staying at the governor's mansion.
Yeah, clearly something. I don't know. I mean, it looks sweet. I saw the pictures of it and stuff. It looks awesome. But I just it gets to the point where like Airbnb is the ones I stay in. I just keep on getting more expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dang. We could just say, for me, I'm down to just stay somewhere crappy and just go places that are fun. But if we want to stay somewhere really expensive and just spend all the time there, We can do that too.
You know what you should
Imagine
do?
$1,500 a night and there's signs everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what you should do?
What?
Make a bunch of your own signs.
And bring 'em?
Post
And just
in the
put 'em up.
and like, well, you will not believe what this place
This is
asking
ridiculous.
me. $1,500 a night, and they say I can take a 3-minute shower.
Wow.
Unreasonable.
If you're paying that much money, you can have a longer shower
That's what
at
I
that
was thinking.
point. Well, enjoy the podcast today. And of course, text 877 to Radio U. Hop also over to our Peeps Pepsi food fight, which you can check out at Radio U Riot on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, or enjoy it if you're listening to the audio podcast and see what we thought of the Peeps Pepsi.
and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you guys.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
If you found out Pop-Tarts was going to collaborate with a cereal where they were going to make a cereal-flavored Pop-Tart, a breakfast cereal-flavored Pop-Tart,
Yeah.
what breakfast cereal would you want them to use to
Ooh.
collaborate with to make that Pop-Tart?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Same.
Cinnamon Toast
That's
Crunch.
also my answer.
There
That's
it
such a
is.
lame answer.
No,
That's a
it's
great
not.
answer. That's the
It
best
is.
answer.
They
I said-
already make it. It's called cinnamon brown sugar Pop-Tart.
No, it's called brown cinnamon sugar, and that's
Okay.
completely different from cinnamon
It's the
toast
same
crunch.
thing. How is that markedly different?
Because then you could put little Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the top of it. You
Yeah.
know, like put
You
in
could
the
already do
icing.
that.
Now, okay, fine then. I don't
Well, then
think
you could
should.
put any cereal on the top of it then if we're doing that.
You should not be asking because you never like
I
people's
knew
response back.
you
Yeah.
guys were gonna say that, but that's already a Pop-Tart.
How about Fruit Loops?
Fruit Loops would be a good answer.
Fruit Loops is a
Cheerios.
trash
A
answer. The
little-
strawberry one's already terrible. Why would we make a Fruit Loops one next?
Fruit Loops are lemony.
I'd say
Cheerios?
they're Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey.
That feels a little bland.
It's just cinnamon toast crunch. It's the best answer.
you
it's
guys.
such a good answer.
You guys don't know. I mean, it's just actually it's kind of similar to what they actually did. My answer is Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
which is not made by Kellogg's, and Pop-Tarts are made by Kellogg's. But let's not let that get in the way. See, Captain Crunch would be the best. There's nothing like it.
I just
Are
don't know what
they
the
real
flavor
good?
is.
It's Captain Crunch.
Berries.
That's how there's-
Berries, yeah.
What? No, you don't. I don't want the berry version.
You want
I just want actual Captain
you
Crunch.
just want
or
the Captain
maybe
Crunch, whatever
peanut
that
butter.
is, like whatever that is.
Yeah,
Those things are flavored. I don't even know what the flavor is. I know they're good. I like
it's
them,
Captain Crunch flavor.
but I don't know what it is. I don't know how that translates
That's
to a
why
Pop-Tart.
that's how we know there's no Pop-Tart like it.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be its own thing.
But actually, when you think about it, I think what the flavor they're actually going with is similar to a cinnamon toast crunch option, and that is Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks also cinnamon, right? There's no apple involved. That's just a name.
Yeah, I guess that's an okay choice.
I don't know if I've
And
really ever had Apple Jacks.
You never been to like the hotel free breakfast?
yeah,
And they have
or you get the little
things.
the packages of the box of cereal. Like
They
the
just
tiny
look like Fruit
boxes.
Loops to me.
They look like Fruit Loops, but they're like cinnamon Fruit Loops. They're-
Interesting.
Yeah, you've never had that.
I think I may have tried them, but I don't think they were like good enough for me to have frequently.
Well, buckle in.
Yeah.
'cause now you get them in Pop-Tart
We're
form.
definitely going to try these on the show, and they will be coming our way in March of 2023. Pop-Tart's first ever collab with a breakfast cereal.
So the cinnamon apple flavor will be the filling. The frosting will be green with orange sprinkle stuff.
and an 8-count box
That
for
seems
$3.84. That does feel like a lot. But look at the deal you could get if you went with a 16-count box exclusively at Walmart. Suggested price of $5.02.
I guess I wish it
But
was.
you know they're not selling it for that. It's going to be, that's suggested, but it's really going to be like $7.
It would be nice if, like, the small little boxes of cereal, you got a selection.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just Apple Jacks, but I mean, we'll try it.
What was that what is the box, the little box of cereal? It's Apple Jacks,
You always got like a
Corn Pops,
corn pops,
Frosted
flakes.
Flakes.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Right? Was it 4?
It
or
wasn't a lot.
5? And none of those are really
Oh, Raisin
faves.
Bran. We're
And
trying to get a Raisin Bran.
Yeah. that's
Raisin Bran.
Man. And I don't know why why my grandma kept buying those, because like 1 out of those 5 cereals is actually legitimately good.
Listen,
so.
maybe Raisin Bran should be the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, you know what? That'd be unique. That
That'd be
definitely would be
awful.
unique. That would be, how about just going with Wheaties then?
Yeah, that could work.
Wheaties Pop-Tarts.
Wheaties Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, it's just cardboard.
So we'll
it's just
look
a
for
slice of cardboard.
The Apple Jacks in March. So next month they should be coming soon. They say this is one of its biggest collabs since the 2021 Eggo brand collabs they did.
Yeah, those were good. That was the other thought I thought Is Waffle Crisp be a good one, but similar to Eggo. I apologize to you guys.
No, that's all right.
I was too tough on
No,
you.
it's okay.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that is a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, those would probably be tasty.
Yeah, maybe one day they'll
And
come
way
out.
different than the brown sugar cinnamon.
It's just Isaiah. I don't know why he even asks us.
I know. He asked what we wanted, and that's what I want. That's still what I want. He hasn't changed my mind
You're
either.
right. I shouldn't have said you were wrong. I should have just shown a light
You yelled
on the
at
brown
us.
sugar
Yeah.
cinnamon.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Chick-Fil-A, for such a beloved fast food restaurant, they also seem to find themselves being one of the more controversial. And that makes sense when you have a policy like this. A Chick-fil-A has been forced to make a rule change where they want to say up front, listen, we're a family-friendly restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
As long as that family isn't only exclusively teenagers only.
Is it too rowdy?
Yeah.
This is going to feel a bit like mall security.
You think so? Back in the day when teenagers used to actually go to the mall
I know, and you would
cause
just,
a ruckus?
You would just be asked to be quiet or leave.
Yeah. Well, this is what happened. This is a Chick-fil-A. This is just one of them. It's in Royersford, Pennsylvania, wherever that is. And they've instated a new policy that really says that unaccompanied minors are no longer allowed on the premises. If you are 16 years of age and you don't have an adult with you,
You're allowed to stay?
no waffle fries for you.
Actually, this is kind of more like, was it Knott's Berry Farm that did that over?
Oh, yeah, they had a rumble that one time.
They had like huge fights at Knott's Berry Farm. It was just a big security issue. So they started to say, hey, on certain days on the weekend, you basically,
Yeah.
even if you were like in your 20s, you almost had to have your mom with
Right.
you. But they said it really dropped down the problems of just having groups of people with no one like in charge of the group to keep everybody
Which
from
is
knocking
still
it off.
hilarious to think about that, like groups of teenagers.
You need a
were
leader
Like, let's
to
go to
calm you
Knott's
down."
Berry's farm here. I'll buy you all. Let's get season passes, and then we'll just go looking for trouble.
That's
it's
what
still
they don't
hilarious
want.
to think about.
They don't want that to happen at Chick-fil-A.
But what's happening at Chick-fil-A, that also feels like Knott's Berry Farm easier to police because there's a price of admission, and they have to let people in the door. The Chick-fil-A, what's going on at this Chick-fil-A, much less cool. Actually, the reason that they've decided to ban teenagers,
at
unaccompanied
this one in
minors,
Pennsylvania.
is because they've had situations where teenagers will come in, engage in loud conversation with a lot of explicit language, so cursing and mocking at staff. They say they vandalized property, stole decor, and the classic walked through the drive-through.
Oh, there it is.
And so they've had enough of that. They make it sound like basically, people come in here, families with kids and whatever, and teenagers are, playing the penis game or whatever. And so that they don't want that. They're not making it fun for everybody else, to where everybody else can sit and enjoy a Chick-fil-A meal.
Listen,
And so they're keeping them out.
as someone who's not going through Chick-fil-A rowdy, if I do go through, I used to appreciate that it was always fast, like just to get through with your food.
Yeah.
And if you're making it rowdy, then you're messing it up for everybody else.
That's right. It takes
So,
long enough anyways.
It does. I don't need shenanigans. I just wanted my chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that's what most people are thinking, but some people just some teenagers, they just want to go wherever they can where people aren't expecting it.
Sure.
I guess, and cause trouble. I want to know the situation where
What were they vandalizing?
Well, maybe. I mean,
All the cow stuff.
probably the bathroom.
Sure.
Maybe the play place. A lot of Chick-fil-A still have the play place, but I really want to know what it's like to be a Chick-fil-A bouncer.
To kick people out?
Yeah. It's my pleasure to not let you let you pass.
You have to be a really nice bouncer.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Tomorrow, let's go through. We've got four flavors of Peeps.
We do, the new ones. There's like a kettle corn, a hot tamale one, a Dr. Pepper one, and a sparkly unicorn berry one. That's going to be your favorite.
And these are new, huh?
So we're going to try those tomorrow. And then we have a bunch of other food fight stuff for this week.
So I get the impression in the past that you have actually enjoyed tasting Peeps in some instance.
No. Well, I only like every so often. I don't like original Peeps, but then they'll come out with like some of these fun flavors. And I think one or two of them, I said, they're not as bad as the original stuff. So I'll give it a try.
As bad mean?
Well, I'll never buy it like on my own, but in a tasting section of the show, like it's not the worst.
Would you ever consider like, what if you like stripped off this? What if you skinned a Peep? Because like maybe the outer coating is what gives it the yeah, that's what gives it the special flavor,
yeah,
right?
I could see that.
So would you ever like maybe I'll eat the special coating off, or I'll take that off and put it on something else that I enjoy and just leave the innards of the Peep?
I think at that point, if you're dissecting it so much, then maybe it's just not the right thing for you.
Probably not.
Maybe.
I know Peeps aren't the right thing for me. I don't know what it would take for me to like a Peep. That's what I'm wondering.
Do you like marshmallows just in general?
No, you know that.
Well, I know, so I'm just double checking. Then I don't think they're for you.
Yeah, I don't. What if they always change the outside, but they can't? You know, that's the problem, isn't it? That with sometimes we just try so hard to change the outside. We try so hard to put on a different face. When it can't change the ugliness inside, it can't change the Peep inside us.
I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just an ugly thing.
Sometimes the inside of you is just a sad, pathetic, disgusting marshmallow.
Little bunny Peep.
And it's just too sweet and too much.
Now, okay, sometimes though something surprises you and it's not so ugly.
Yeah, and it's also it's a good lesson that there are people out there that like Peeps. So just because you have a terrible Peep inside you, doesn't mean that there's not somebody out there that could love that. You may find that Peep lover one day. Sorry,
Peeps.
Yeah. No, I think they're teaching us a lesson, a valuable lesson that we're learning.
That's good. Well, Zach was saying, hey, if you don't psych yourself out of the taste with it, you can almost get like it's almost a cream soda sort of taste to the Peeps Pepsi that we tried.
Another thing I don't like. So.
Okay, well, then it is not for you.
No, it's not. I nobody ever said it was for me. I don't know why I feel, actually, I do feel like people are trying to convince me in a way.
Well, it's the season
anytime with Peeps, there's always like, it's almost like it's a vegetable. And it's just like, come on, if you just try putting cheese sauce on the broccoli, you'll like it. If you just cover the Peep in Dr. Pepper, you'll love it. And it's just, no, I just don't like it. And it's not even a vegetable. It's not good for me. Why are you trying to convince me to like it?
That's a good point.
So it's fine. If you like Peeps, you continue to enjoy. I don't bash Peep lovers. And I don't go out of my way to, I don't knock over. I was at Walmart. They had a big display. That's where I found the Dr. Pepper Peeps. I didn't kick over to the display, just you have your Peeps and stop trying to convince me to like them.
Well, we will have to try them, though. So we got new flavors to try tomorrow. We've got the new Coca-Cola flavor that we should be trying later this week. So we'll compare it.
A big week of food fights.
Yeah, so lots of new flavors.
Yeah, lots to look forward to.
Hey, Gable Price is ready now.
All right, yeah, it's his time.
It's his time.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
This weekend was the release of the movie Cocaine Bear, which a lot of people were excited about. It made a decent amount of money at the theaters. And so it's no surprise that already we're seeing other movie companies drifting off of Cocaine Bear's success.
Which it was, for a R-rated Cocaine Bear movie.
With all those qualifications.
It wasn't like it did awful over the weekend. It did pretty good.
It did okay. It made a name for itself, and I'm sure it will continue on to be kind of one of those just, kind of culty movies where it just got a niche audience, but it's enough of a niche audience to make it some money. So to follow up Cocaine Bear, although this is not officially affiliated with Cocaine Bear, we are getting this summer.
Well, get ready.
Attack of the Meth Gator.
So Meth Gator?
Yeah, a Meth Gator movie.
So Isaiah, I think
it's coming this summer.
They're picking drug and animal.
Animal.
They're just mixing the two.
They're actually making a movie about
They're
Meth
making
Gator?
a movie about Meth Gator, which the Cocaine Bear is based off of a true story. It's a particularly probably sad true story because the bear died, right?
No, it is. It is sensationalized, but there was a bear back in the day who found a large shipment of cocaine and
a kilo, perhaps
way more.
That's how cocaine is. That's how I know it measured by.
Sure.
So they found a kilo of cocaine, we'll just say, and that actually happened. Meth Gator may or may not have happened, but they're making it happen in movie form. And I'd like to let you know that the Meth Gator movie is brought to you by the same studio that brought us all of the Sharknado movies. So you know it's
high quality films.
So you know the story's in good hands. And this is a quick turnaround that they are already putting out Meth Gator like this summer. Either like that means they probably had it on in the pipeline.
No,
in the sewer line already.
Hudson, I don't think those movies take as long as maybe you think. I think
that's
maybe
a lot of CGI though. They're not using a real gator and giving it meth.
I think script wise, they're like, hey, give me a night, and they might be on meth. And then they can be all ready to film that with. I feel like that's a 2-weeker. Takes 2 weeks to film.
Yeah. Okay. So
and then the rest is the CGI.
Here's what we need to do. We need to think of animals that could be on drugs and make a movie of it.
Make a movie instead of...
Yeah, what could we do next?
Gator, bear, what's next?
A lion.
A lion.
On marijuana.
No, it's not enough.
Weed lion.
No,
no, that's not the same effect.
He's so chill then.
I know, that'd be a good movie.
Yeah, we need a difference.
It's just a lion sitting around. He's eating Cheetos and having a good time.
The craziness is the fun part. When they're wild and you don't know what they're going to do next, you know?
But that's how animals are normally.
Yeah, but this kind of takes it to the next level when they're on like meth or cocaine or something.
So you got another
What if it's like
drug?
a fentanyl flock of birds or something?
Wouldn't that just kill them?
Flying.
Well, I don't know. Like, it's not enough.
I think the cocaine just killed the bear in real life, too.
That's true. Spoiler.
What about other drugs?
You know what they missed here, right?
What?
Because this is like an alligator or whatever.
Yeah.
It should have been a crocodile on crocodile.
No.
That would have been a good one. That would have been a good.
I think that would just
one.
be confusing to people.
Yeah, I think
How would you title that?
I think you just. I mean, they're spelled differently.
The croc.
The croc. The crocodile or crocodile.
I don't think that's mainstream enough.
Yeah, maybe not.
The Meth Gator will get more views.
Yeah, Meth Gator. Yeah.
Heroin.
That could be a good one.
Heroin aardvark.
No.
Aardvark.
No,
What's the aardvark or the heroin?
The aardvark.
Why?
Well, you want something that's scary. Have you not gotten the gist here with the bear and the alligator?
Aardvark on heroin, maybe it gets pretty scary.
I guess so, maybe.
It's scary how fast its life spirals out of control and it finds itself at rock bottom with no friends and no money. And
what about sharks? We haven't got to the water yet.
No, but they did.
They're so overdone.
Overdone.
Now, it is the same people that did Sharknado, so they have all those CGI effects already. So maybe they'll do that in a few years.
How about something?
Oh, they find a drug boat. The sharks found a drug boat that sunk, and then they ate it all.
There it is.
And then then it goes from there.
Right into it.
You know what the new drug is?
What?
Trank.
Yeah.
That's like the flesh eating, like, the people turn into zombies. I
haven't seen any of the zombies.
Bath salts.
Bath salts.
How about bath salt whale?
Well,
yeah.
Listen, Meth Gator's fine. We'll
I
just leave
think
it at
I
that.
don't even want Meth Gator. I think we're good without it.
You think?
Yeah.
There's money to be made. We just got to continue this brainstorming session.
I just don't know.
Let's do it off air.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to continue this one.
I think we've got more. I've got more ideas I'd like to throw out there.
I cannot wait to hear them.
Okay. How about
No. Off air.
They were
Trank
good.
Eagle?
Oh gosh, not the eagle.
The Riot. Radio U.
Nikki, Isaiah,
Yes.
you guys both like to drink, right? You don't like to drink.
Don't step in that, Isaiah.
You guys both like to have a little sippy sometimes, right?
I do have my large water bottle next to me. You're
That's
right.
all I'm saying. You like to drink.
I see what you're saying.
You like to take a few guzzles every once in a while.
Try for my gallon of water.
So have you guys experienced anybody borging? Was that the correct use of the word?
I haven't seen this on my For You page. I mean, we've seen.
What about your friends?
No.
No.
A Borg?
A Borg.
Yeah, you haven't seen a Borg?
Haven't heard of it.
Not even from Star Trek?
Cyborg or.
No, Borg. It's like the collective. It's like a hive mind.
Nope.
Thing. So Borg is a new it's a new trend people are posting about on TikTok. It is Borg stands for blackout rage gallon.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah, you haven't heard about this.
Not.
The
I'm
dumbest
surprised.
story.
You haven't heard about this?
No.
This is not just
What are
like
you talking about?
I've
You
seen
haven't
this.
heard about this. Like, I've never seen this.
I thought you guys at least like Isaiah. You go to like parties. You have friends. Nikki, you watch TikTok all the time. I've seen this.
One of us should have seen it.
I've seen it before today.
A weird TikTok
but it's like
page.
taken off. It's taken off.
Clearly taken off. I mean,
Yeah.
it has erupted.
It's
Me and
taken
Nikki
off.
have no
So
idea what it is.
This is NBC, so it's actually like legitimate news.
I will
at this
say,
point.
I appreciate someone who had their gallon of water, their drink, and they call it Le Borg James.
Yeah, that's one of the keys to having a good Borg is giving it a good Borg
Now,
name.
a Borg is not just water, though, because then
No.
it wouldn't be the blackout rage gallon that it is, but people are adding to like half-gallon of water jugs and stuff,
Right.
or the gallon jugs, they're adding stuff to it.
So just like we all know somebody who has gone through a phase where they carry around a milk jug size and it's water, and that's like, oh, I got to drink this all
do
day.
people do that at your gym when you work out, Isaiah?
Not really.
They don't carry the gallon,
No,
like the
people
plastic one?
Some people will have like their bigger like hydro flask type jug, right? But there's not a lot of them. Nothing super noticeable.
Okay.
But what the blackout rage gallon is people using literally like you would get the sweet tea in it or the water or milk or whatever, and using those gallons, and then in that gallon jug they will make an alcoholic drink, and it's like that's your drink for the night. Like you go to a party, you bring that with you, and then that's for you the rest of the night.
So it's the opposite of like you're supposed to drink all the water in the day. You now have like a party amount.
Yeah, you have to get through your Borg by the end of the night.
So a Borg is just a large canister people are putting alcohol in. Is that what this is? Got it.
But obviously, it seems like on the surface, right? This could be like you're drinking
It's a jug.
If it's a jug of alcohol, that feels excessive to a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it's called blackout. But there's actually, I have here pros and cons from an expert
Okay.
on the pros and cons of Borging. Okay, you want to hear them out?
Yeah, sure.
That there is pros to this. So obviously the cons are, right? You could binge drinking. Like this is actually not just like something you shouldn't do. It's actually like medically, like you could get alcohol poisoning and stuff like that. Yeah, we all know about that, blah, blah, blah. But the reason that...
And I feel like if you're carrying a gallon around with you, then that is spot
That's a
on. That
sign.
is a sign.
But listen to the positives. This is from, I wish I could find the person's name, but they're an expert at it. I think it's Texas Tech. And so it's a counselor who counsels for people with mental health and depression and alcohol abuse, whatever. And so the reason that they say this could be a positive is if you're going to a party, one, you're getting mixed drinks like just from wherever. You don't know who's mixing them up. You may not know what's in them, whatever. You don't know how strong they are, all this stuff. So there's a lot of unknowns in there. With a Borg, you're making it yourself. So you know exactly
Can't be
how much is
spiked.
in there. It can't be spiked with anything else. And you can even go so far as to mix it to your, not just your own taste, but maybe you don't actually put any alcohol in, or maybe then
no one
Trickster you
knows.
are.
it's just like
No one
Trickster.
knows.
as like the reason Liquid Death water took off, right?
Sure.
Because it looks like you're fitting in. It looks like, oh, I'm not a square. I'm not here drinking water at this party while everybody else
It's cool
is.
water.
Yeah. You're drinking. It gives the appearance that you're fitting in, and so nobody questions you or peer pressures you or anything.
Actually, a good idea.
Yeah. Now it's also drawing a lot of, especially at first, it's drawing a lot of attention to yourself. Because
With the gallon?
I'm sure a lot of
At
people are
the
going to
party?
ask. They're going to be like, "What are you carrying? A gallon of
jug you
and
got?"
then you go, "Oh, this is just my blackout rage gallon."
When really it's just water,
That's
and a
just
lot of people
silly.
do.
But then it seems like you're partying way harder than everybody else. So
Everybody puts in like, which I've seen this before. You put like a Mio or just like squirts and stuff or whatever. But yeah, no one has to know if you don't add anything
they
else to
don't
it.
have to know. Now, what I'm
That's
really
also
seeing.
not healthy if it's like a gallon of Kool-Aid. So that's also.
I wouldn't
that has its own
recommend that either.
issues. That has its own issues. But going through this, I don't know that I'm getting the impression that they're necessarily pros, as in, yeah, go ahead with reckless abandon, but it's better than perhaps just drinking whatever random stuff if you go to a gathering and you're not exactly sure if everything's on the up and up. maybe you just shouldn't go. But if you want to go, bring your own Borg with you.
Okay. And just remember, more water. Way more water in it.
Don't fill it all the way up with something else.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
You see from time to time Airbnb horror stories. In fact, I believe that's literally the TikTok channel that this is pulled from.
Oh, the trend,
Airbnb horror stories. But this one is bad, is like, it's worse in not just an excessive way, but just it's almost like Uncanny Valley, where to me the rules almost make sense. You almost feel like you should follow them, but then again, they're just a little wild. They're just a little too much. So see what you think of this. This is an Airbnb someone was staying at in Montauk in New York. That's like the Hamptons, right?
Yeah.
And so some of the rules that they had posted at this Airbnb. 1, please do not spray/apply perfume, cologne, or body oils inside studio. Please apply outside. Step outdoors.
And apply your cologne.
If you'd like to spray any perfume or even body oil, which shouldn't get on anything, right? Except for your body.
No, sometimes, though, if you spray a lot, like it's always behind you on the wall. Like you just don't know that you're in the splash zone. So I think that's what they're trying to keep from happening.
Okay, 2, to avoid the growth of mold, please leave shower door open after showering. Okay. Does that feel like, I mean, it's obviously doable. You could do it, but doesn't that feel like a bit much for somebody to ask you?
If you just look around, the person does a quick tour of the studio room. Like there's just signs everywhere. Which, if you go to an Airbnb, can happen. But this person wanted to make sure there was no questions on anything.
Before we go further on, because there's more, it feels like the type of thing. Okay, if you were staying at a friend's house, right? It'd be a reasonable request, I think, if they're like, hey, I have bad allergies or something. Can you put your perfume on outside? Like, that's just a thing. Hey, it gets really moldy in the shower. Like, they're reasonable requests, but not at a place you're paying to stay at.
Sure.
In a place that's likely going to charge you if you close the shower door, they're going to charge you a shower door fee.
See, I know out of all of us, Isaiah, you stay at Airbnbs the most, but it feels like they don't want you to stay there.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
It is not very welcoming.
Like, why have the Airbnb if you're going to have all these rules?
Or it feels like they don't want to clean up after you
I was
or
thinking
have
that
to
too.
fix anything.
And then there's like, they say no vaping and smoking inside, which is that obviously that is reasonable. Most hotels don't let you do that either. They also say, now this is a sticking point for me, and I would totally go against this, because what are they going to do? It says, please help conserve water. Hot water shuts off after 8 minutes.
It will shut off after?
That's what it says.
You're supposed to shut it off.
I think it shuts off.
Hot water shuts off after 8 minutes.
Well, then you're starting it back up.
Yeah, I don't know how you can get around that, but that's where I'm like, okay, this place gets a 1-star review.
Yeah.
But in 8 minutes, like, really?
It's vacation.
It's 8 minutes.
You take a long hot shower and you turn the air conditioning down to 45 degrees and you have a great time.
That's like, because that's
what I'm paying for.
It makes sense that those like bills, like those are things that they'll have to pay for. So if you're being obnoxious with the shower,
that is not obnoxious though. If
8
I take a
minutes
10-minute shower,
yeah, but maybe they've had people in the past that were like really abused it, and their water bill was crazy. And then now they're like, we don't want to do that.
That's a risk you take with an Airbnb.
And technically, what you're paying for the room with the fees and stuff should way more than cover. I mean, this isn't a beach resort one. Like, this should way more than cover any of your water bill usage.
If you're pricing your Airbnb so you can't afford for somebody to have the hot water on for more than 8 minutes, then you should just charge more for your Airbnb.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. So.
And everybody was pointing out too. It feels like this one must have cameras everywhere.
That's what I thought right away.
They're gonna catch you. They're gonna catch you putting your body oil on.
And then you get some sort of fee afterwards because
the
you
body
didn't follow
oil fee.
it.
This is on top of all of this. I don't know if you guys see here above the no smoking and vaping sign. There's a whole list there as well that very well may be more rules that you have to follow, and we just can't even make them out.
See, that's why sometimes, I don't know, just don't go. First off, don't go
just
to
don't
a
go on vacation.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Stay home. You make the rules there.
You might have to
take as long a shower as you want.
Go back to going to a hotel.
Yeah, at least you know what you're usually getting into with a hotel.
Not as many rules there.
Thanks for watching The Worst of the Riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more Riot.